What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Gakis, and today the June update is just a couple of days away, and it will be the final update Destiny 2 ever receives. But this update is absolutely massive. Bungie has released 3 separate multi-thousand-word developer insight articles and 2 multi-thousand-word TWIDs just trying to cover the content in this update. To give you a perspective, Bungie has said that just the patch notes for this update are 17,000 words, guys. So in this video, I wanted to break down all of that information, all of the content that we have learned is coming in this June update, and talk about the top 10 biggest things coming in this update. These are the 10 heavy hitters, the 10 things that shocked the Destiny community. This is the video you send to your friend who's like, but what's actually coming in this June update? Is it worth me logging on? Short answer, yes, your mind will be blown, and so let's get started. Now, these are in no particular order. They're all frankly massive. And so thing number 1 is that every single raid and dungeon in Destiny 2 will have its loot pool updated to match the current tier of loot. So, what this means is that the best quality of loot you can currently get in the game is tier 5 for weapons and armor. All of the older dungeons are going to be dropping tier 5 weapons and armor after this update. Now, as for raids, since those have craftable weapons, they've actually added new perks to those weapon perk pools, and you can now bring those weapons up to a tier 5 equivalent. We'll talk about that in a second. Don't forget armor, guys. Every single dungeon and raid in the game, and I'm showing a ton in the background, there's actually so many, is getting its armor sets updated with armor set bonuses. That's right, every single raid, every single dungeon will have a unique armor set that has a unique armor set bonus, guys. And we are literally talking about well over 100 different weapons and over a dozen different armor sets. And this has never happened before, where every single piece of endgame content, every single raid and dungeon is going to be endgame viable. There's going to be no such thing as an outdated raid or dungeon going forward. Alright, but moving on from there, massive thing number 2 is that every single exotic weapon in the game that doesn't have an exotic catalyst is going to get one within the June update. They're adding 25 new exotic catalysts to the game in June. So stuff like the Parasite, it's getting, Envious Arsenal. So switch between your different weapons, that will automatically reload the Parasite in the background. This was already a god tier DPS weapon when doing that kind of rotation, and now it's going to be even better, and the Parasite is just one example. Ambitious Assassin for the Teraba, massively overflowing the magazine of the gun that absolutely rips damage when it has its normal magazine, like when it's going to be doubled, I don't even know. Triple tap for the Chaperone, and this is just a small preview. There are so many different weapons that are like almost good enough. Heck, there's weapons that don't have catalysts, I mean, like the Parasite we just looked at, that are already insane and part of the meta. The fact that everything will have a catalyst now means that so many different exotic weapons will suddenly become viable. By the way, on top of that, they're also going back and updating a bunch of the really old original Destiny 2 catalysts that didn't provide an extra perk and actually adding an extra perk to them. So guys, yeah, 25 new exotic catalysts. That's thing number 2. Alright, now the third biggest thing coming within this update, and we mentioned it a bit when we're talking about every raid and dungeon being updated, is that craftable weapons can now be upgraded to the equivalent of a tier 5. So right here, we have the Fatebringer, which is from the Vault of Glass raid. This is just a base version crafted weapon. And now, as you can see, you can upgrade this to tier 2 and then upgrade that to tier 3. And yes, you will eventually be able to upgrade it all the way to tier 5 equivalent, which means you have enhanced barrel, enhanced magazine, enhanced origin trait, and you can put on adept mods, as you guys can see. But it's not just the raid weapons, it's every single craftable weapon in the game. So you have destinations like the Pale Heart, you have activities like Dares of Eternity that are dropping craftable weapons. Every single one of those can now be upgraded to the modern, like, top version of loot. So every single craftable weapon in the game just became end game viable within Destiny 2 for this update. So again, these are hundreds of weapons we are talking about here, or at least well over 100. And all these activities that you just wouldn't care about getting the crafted loot from, those are now going to be very desirable. But moving on from there, thing number 4 is that we have multiple new abilities, at least one for every class, coming to Destiny 2 in the June update. So 3 new aspects. For example, here is the new Sunbreaker Titan aspect. This will launch your barricade forward and then you can explode it to damage enemies. In fact, we have a video of that happening right here. So you shoot your barricade forward, it's going to scorch enemies nearby, and then you detonate it for a bunch of damage. Crazy ability. And if that wasn't enough, for your rally barricade, it adds Scorch to the bullets you shoot from behind that barricade for a bunch of extra DPS. Like, this is potentially a new DPS strat, is just making all of your bullets scorching, causing ignitions, etc. I mean, for the Hunter, you get this ability where you jump backwards and hit 3 guys with your golden gun, or 1 guy 3 times for a bunch of damage. And for the Warlock, I mean, you get the big suck ability, as you can see. And there's actually more. We have a new stasis grenade. We have a new strand grenade. And this is for every single class, of course. Hunters get a brand new melee, and there's reworked abilities as well. So in terms of build crafting, in terms of the meta, it's being turned on its head just with this infusion of abilities in the June update. So again, yeah, your builds, they're changing potentially, and brand new builds are going to emerge. Now, after that, thing number 5 is that seasonal artifacts and their perks are not only being reworked, we are getting multiple seasonal artifacts to use at the same time. So here is what your new seasonal artifact will look like. As you can see, they removed anti-champion mods entirely, and that's because weapons will intrinsically be able to stun champions. Fast-firing weapons, so like a rapid-fire frame can stun overloads. In the middle, so like an adaptive frame can stun, I think it's barriers, and then slow shooting high-impact frames can stun unstops. So again, completely reworked. You can now respec all the time without having to unspec your later seasonal artifact mods. And again, we're getting some new seasonal artifact perks, by the way. And they added six additional seasonal artifacts from throughout the years of Destiny 2 that you can swap between. So think about some of the most iconic seasonal artifact perks from throughout Destiny's history. You know, the one that made all grenade launchers weaken on hit, and it was a completely, grenade launcher meta and all of that stuff. Shield Crush, all these crazy seasonal artifact perks, they're potentially back. And so think about what I said for build crafting with new abilities. It is 100-fold more build crafting with all of these seasonal artifacts, guys. Like, genuinely, this is 7. We have 7 seasonal artifacts. This is 7 years worth of build crafting, worth of different builds condensed into one update. The amount of viable builds, the meta diversity is going to be more than anything we've ever seen before in the almost 10 years of Destiny 2. But moving on from there, thing number 6 is that every single old destination and its loot pool is being updated within the June update. So, first of all, they're bringing the directory back. This will be the face of Destiny 2 in the June update. But yeah, we currently have Kepler, I'm just going to move myself right here, and the Lawless Frontier. Those are the only two places currently dropping tiered loot. And so that means the Dreaming City, Nessus, Neptune, Europa, the Moon, EDZ, Cosmodrome, all of it is going to have relevant loot once again. And what's an example of that relevant loot? Some of the most iconic weapons from throughout Destiny 2's history. So, the 7th Seraph CQC, this is coming back, guys. The 7th Seraph weapons are going to be updated to tier 5, and these are what are going to be dropping in the Cosmodrome, along with 7th Seraph armor that's been upgraded to tier 5 with a new armor set bonus that's also going to be dropping in the Cosmodrome. So that's right. All those destinations I showed in the entire game, every single destination is going to be dropping tier 5 weapons and tier 5 armor that has its own unique set bonus, guys. This is an example, I think, from Nessus. So, iconic weapons from throughout Destiny's history. This is Europa, updated. This is actually being changed to a micro missile frame, so a lot of that loot updated. And when you're doing these destinations, they're also adding a new distortions activity. It rotates every hour, so a different destination is featured every hour, and when you're there during a distortion, you get better quality loot. And so again, like, this is something we've never had before, where every single destination in the game is dropping viable, relevant, end game potential loot. It's gonna be crazy. But after that, thing number 7 is that all of the core activities within Destiny 2 are also being updated within June, including Gambit. That's right, there's going to be Gambit ops within the directory. You have iconic Gambit weapons like the 21% Delirium being updated to tier 5 with never before seen perks. By the way, we still don't know what that does. Here's another one, the Spare Rations. On top of the weapons, there's also going to be new Gambit armor that's tier 5, has its own set bonus, and so much more. It's not just Gambit, by the way. You still have the Vanguard ops equivalent, like Fireteam ops and stuff, Arena ops, which is 6-player. Yes, it's still through the portal, but the portal is getting an updated loot pool as well. But it's so much more than that. They actually confirmed that even specific activities like Onslaught, as you can see right here, is getting updated. They're adding the Brave Arsenal. They're upgrading it to tier 5. They're adding it back to Onslaught, guys, right? So back when you were grinding into the light for the mountaintop, for the recluse, that stuff is back. It's updated. It's tier 5. It's relevant again. And Crucible as well. So as you can see right here, we have new Crucible armor sets, again, with their own unique set bonus. We have a bunch of iconic Crucible weapons that are returning to the game, and new Crucible weapons to earn when you're playing PvP. We even have some exotic cosmetics to earn right here that are Shaxx inspired that you're gonna get from the Crucible. And it's competitive as well. Comp is getting a new armor set. Again, unique armor set bonus, new comp emblem, new comp guns, guys, that you're going after. And some of the most iconic comp guns from years past, they're also returning. So PvP, Trials of Osiris is getting new armor sets, as well as new Trials of Osiris weapons. And iconic Trials of Osiris weapons are also being updated to tier 5. And we have new Trials cosmetics to earn as well, guys. So again, all the core game modes, Gambit, PvP, Comp, Vanguard Ops, essentially, you know, even Onslaught, Trials, like all of it is getting updated with endgame relevant loot, brand new armor sets, never before seen armor set bonuses, and more. Now, after that, thing number 8 is that we're getting Pantheon 2.0. For those of you who weren't around for the original Pantheon, a fan favorite game mode, this is an assortment of different randomized raid encounters from throughout Destiny's history that you have to face. So you load into Pantheon, maybe you get, the third encounter from King's Fall, and then right after that, it's a Vault of Glass encounter, and then right after that, it's original Callus from Leviathan. That's right. You can see we have Callus from Leviathan. You can see we have the Crown of Sorrow boss and the Eater of Worlds boss. And within a trailer we saw, these are indeed returning. So old raids that were removed from the game, some of those encounters are gonna be in Pantheon once again. It's gonna be dropping a ton of raid loot, obviously tier 5 and stuff. So this means that every single week you have like a somewhat different version of Pantheon. This is the end game player's dream, to like fight a bunch of different raid stuff every week. We have fresh rotations and stuff like that. And because this is the final update Destiny 2 will ever get, Pantheon 2.0 isn't going anywhere. It's going to be, a featured part of the end game until they shut the servers down in however many years that's going to be. Now, moving on from there, thing number 9 is that we're actually getting brand new exotics with the June update and reworked exotics. So we talked about exotic catalysts, but we are just getting 2 brand new exotic weapons on top of that. This is the trailer they released for this update, Monument of Triumph. You can see it right here. We have a Void. Let's take one more look at that. We have essentially a Void last word. That looks crazy, but that's not all. They also low-key revealed another new exotic weapon right here, the Fafnir. They just kind of said, oh, you can buy the Fafnir, right, from this Monument of Triumph vendor. It's a new linear exotic fusion rifle. We've never heard of this before. This is a brand new linear fusion rifle coming in this update. And again, it's not just that we're getting 2 new weapons, it's that existing exotic armor pieces are being reworked so much, they're basically brand new. Here is an example with the Skull of Dire Ahamkara. Before, it just gave you super energy back depending on how many enemies you killed with your Nova Bomb. Now, after casting a Nova Bomb, briefly gain a free cast of a fast-moving but weaker Nova Bomb Lance. That's right, a second Nova Bomb! Your Nova Bomb Cataclysm is empowered if detonated with another Nova Bomb. Nova Bomb Final Blows and Weapon Final Blows while you have Devour grant super energy. So you throw out your Nova Bomb Cataclysm, and then if you hit that Cataclysm moving orb with your second Nova Bomb Lance, it becomes uber powerful for even more damage. So the Skull of Dire Ahamkara just became a DPS monster. And again, this is one example. We are getting tremendous reworks to so many different exotic armor pieces. The no backup plans now works when you have any defensive buff. Woven Mail, anyone? Yeah, just keeping up Woven Mail all the time, boosting your shotgun damage. Nuts. Nuts. And guys, last but certainly not least, thing number 10 is the return of the Sparrow Racing League, a fan favorite from Destiny 1. So yes, SRL is returning with all the original maps, and I believe one new map. You have iconic designs for Sparrows and Skimmers. That's right, you can use Skimmers in SRL as well, guys. And there's more. You're not just actually playing SRL, earning brand new exotic Sparrows, all that stuff. The Sparrow horns are returning, but you're also earning weapons. That's right, you have a whole set of Sparrow Racing League weapons that you can earn there and take out into other parts of the game. So, Sparrow Racing League, again, a fan favorite from Destiny 1. It is going to make it into the final version we'll ever see of Destiny 2. And so guys, there you have it. 10 just really massive things that are arriving to Destiny 2 within the June update. It is absolutely tragic that this is Destiny 2's final update, but I will say that this final update is one of the best updates we've ever seen. And if this is the end of Destiny 2, and even more depressingly, if this is the end of Destiny as a franchise, we are certainly going out with a bang. And in fact, I think we can make such a bang ourselves as the community by logging on during this June update, that we can make it undeniable to the higher-ups both at Bungie and Sony that Destiny as a franchise deserves a future. This update is truly phenomenal. If you haven't played Destiny in years, this is the time to come back. Again, some of your favorite weapons, favorite armor sets, favorite raids, favorite dungeons, a celebration of the best moments, the best content throughout Destiny 2's history is all being updated and made viable within this June update. This is the best time to play Destiny 2, maybe ever. Guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus, as linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.